Howdy, people. How is it going? It's Friday, at least if you're watching this live, it's Friday. And yeah, there's rugby on. Happy days. Waratahs are going to take on the Rebels from the SCG. Looks like fine weather. Let us see. Hey, Bosty, how's it going? NZ Benny, Nanopox. Nanopox asks, are they allowed crowds yet? I think still only very limited numbers. They're not allowed just as many people as they want. Still heaps of social distancing rules. As far as I am aware. We'll see how the pitch holds up for this one. SCG's known to cut up a bit, but yeah, we'll wait and see if that actually happens or if it sticks. Darnell, how are you, sir? They're going through the lineups. Doesn't look like there's any last minute changes from what I can see there. Yeah, it looks to be pretty much the same lineups as expected. Got rugby tomorrow morning, so you're going to go to bed. Good idea, Bosty. Do not stay up late watching if you've got rugby in the morning. You'll definitely need all your energy for that. Darnell, I'm good. My tooth, which had a hole in it, has been filled. So, job done. Only took a week to get an appointment. Mark, how are you, sir? Goodness me, what is it? Is it 1:15 or is it like 3:15 in the morning in Seattle? I always forget. Daramundi, how's it going? How's the weather in Australia? From what I could see, it looks pretty clear at the SCG from what they're showing on the camera, but it's never a true indication. Jordan, how are you, sir? Aluran is here. Gaza is not. Gaza is not here. Gaza will be here for tomorrow's one. Jack Goodhue's mullet. Hope the tooth gets better. Yeah, bro, I had it filled today. $240 for a filling. Goodness me, dental work is expensive. That wasn't even with a checkup. That was just to fill the damn tooth. See you, Bosty, man. Yeah, have a good sleep, bro. NZ Benny says it's chilly. Okay. Chilly we can handle as long as it's not wet. It's currently just cold at the moment down in Ballarat. I've been to Ballarat. I looked for gold, didn't find any. Lindsay, how are you, Lindsay? Hope you're well. We're about 2 or 3 minutes from kickoff. The guys are just milling about in the changing rooms at the minute. So we'll see how things go. Oh, Marika Korobiti's coming out first. Oh, Mark, man. Mark says 2 a.m. Okay, I was close with 1. Eventually I'll learn the difference. You're on here so many times early in the morning. I should really remember what's the time difference between the west coast of America and New Zealand. I always end up asking. Thank you, sir. I will open a beer. Let's do that. Seeing as you're in America, I know you're not American. If you guys don't know Mark is Irish, but I've still got Budweiser. So there you go. There's the American connection. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate it, mate. Oh, it's nice cold. Gargoyles here. How are you, sir? Morning, evening from New Zealand. Sam is here. Hey, Sam. Darnell says, when I broke my arm, it cost $345. Goodness me. Shouldn't broken arms be covered by ACC? How good is the SCG looking in the background? Yeah. There's not that many pictures of the SCG fitted out for rugby in on Google Images, but there you go. Rebels by 45. Goodness me. Compulsory request. Any drinks tonight? I've got Budweiser. I got Budweiser. And I found the last time I had Budweiser on the stream, it's easier to drink. Like, I can get through more of this stuff, I feel, than other beers. So I've got reserve Budweiser in the fridge in case I run out of beer, basically. Puna is a scary dude. He is a big guy who likes to run hard. Novmum is here. How's it going? Chiefs Blues on Sunday. You'll be looking forward to that. Right, we've just kicked off on my one if you're looking to kind of sync up my stream with your viewing. KO's annoying not showing any of the pre-game stuff. Sky Sports New Zealand is showing it 5 minutes before kickoff, but that's it. Nanobox has got office wine. Nice. Apiwa's here. Good morning, sir. Good evening from New Zealand. The big V8 show is here. G'day. 35 seconds in. Waratahs fans say Waratahs by 12 points, says Darnell. Oh, yeah. Okay, you probably don't have ACC then to cover broken arms. Elorans has gone Tars by 2, nearly sitting on the fence. Well, close games have been the order of the day, haven't they? In AU and in Aotearoa, so I've also gone close. I can't remember what I picked. $11 o'clock in South Africa, 9 o'clock here in New Zealand. The similarities between Budweiser and the canoe. Is that both are close to water? Goodness me, I'm slow. That's why I can drink it. Oh, here goes Tamua. Tamua, what a line break. Who's he going to pass to? Oh, Tars defense has gotten back. Bill Meeks with a through the legs pass. Famusili throws a dummy that nobody's buying because that guy is not going to pass. And Rebels are hot on attack in the first 2 minutes. They got advantage as well. Oh, Callaway was close. I think they knocked it on there. I think the Waratahs have either forced it on the line. What? I thought the Waratahs hadn't forced that one, to be honest. Leo says Tars by 3. Tars by 4. $7 in Australia. 7 o'clock's about the right time for rugby to kick off. Dunwindy's got Rebels by 3. Did he force it? I didn't think there was a Rebels hand forcing that. If anything, I thought a Rebels hand knocked it on, to be honest. Rebels by 14. Wow, goodness me. Mr. Rugby Fans says, I bet one potato spud the Waratahs will win. I don't want to risk my spuds, man. I like my spuds. Money I can gamble, but not spuds. Even though I know you can buy potatoes with money. I cooked potatoes, and I cooked 6 potatoes. Can you believe it? They weren't that big, but still 6 of them. TMO's having a look at this one. Yeah, they're going to say it's a knock-on. Back for the penalty, so the Rebels still have the ball inside the 22. Rebels by 2. Man, the addition split between you guys. Picking Tars and Rebels. I think I picked the Tars. I'm not going to stay long because I have a 5-hour trip just for a rugby game. Bro, where are you going? Has the Blues given out the free potatoes at Eden Park? I don't think they're going to do that this year. I don't actually know if they've still got that same sponsor. I don't think they do. As soon as the Blues get good, they lose the potato sponsorship. It's ridiculous. I picked the Tars by 5. Does that count as offside in the ruck? I think they just went for the knock-on before the ruck was formed, seemingly. So, I guess that's it. Random question. Did you see the disallowed try in the Eels game? By the way, Tamua has kicked it. I did actually, only because it came up. Somebody retweeted it or something like that. And yeah, I managed to see it. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I wish it had been a try. Meeks is actually a particularly lean potato under the guise of a centre. He's a well-washed potato as well. Taz by 6. Hallett Petty be watching Maddox in form and won't concentrate on his own game. There you go. Oh, you live 5 hours from Newcastle and play in Newcastle. Goodness me, that's commitment, sir. 5 hours. Waratahs have finally got a bit of ball. They're still stuck in their own half, though. Oh, and they got advantage. I'll have to have a look at the referee stats. I feel like Angus Gardner has been blowing more than some of the others, but I could just be gut reaction. Liam thinks he had the the Rebels to win this one. Is my dad watching or just the New Zealand games? I think with the way that the games are timed, like 9 o'clock is a bit late. Whereas 7 o'clock he can handle. Afternoon he can handle. 9 o'clock's bedtime. He is 70 years old, man. Charlie says, chill, mate, won't be here long as I got to wake up early for my first 15 game tomorrow. Bro, good luck with that. Who are you guys playing? Love Mum, that stadium looks so empty. Be interesting to see what the crowd is like at Eden Park. They've sold apparently 27,000 tickets so far, so that's pretty solid. Do you think the Aussies will buy into the New Zealand Rugby proposed comp next year? Apparently, so far, they've kind of said, thanks, but nah. We're not going to bother even replying. So, New Zealand Rugby seem to be kind of painting themselves into a bit of a corner. I will do a video on it at some point once more legit information comes out. So far, it seems to be, apart from New Zealand Rugby putting their cards on the table, a bit speculative. The game clock is at 6 minutes and 45 seconds as I say this. And oh my goodness, Ram with the intercept. Oh no, sorry, Newsom. Wrong winger. And yeah. Lead change. That came out of nowhere. Who blew that pass? Oh, it was Hodge. Unlucky. Hodge. Budweiser, the Stormers of beers, not as disappointing as some say, but not as good as others say either. I'm actually not minding it, but as I tell everybody, I am not anywhere near any kind of beer connoisseur. I just drink the stuff. He's kicked it. 7 points to 3. Tars making my Super Brew pick look good at the minute, but it's still very early days. And yeah, the Blues are playing on Sunday, Jordan. Tomorrow's game is the Canes and the Crusaders from Christchurch. Would you rather Fiji and Japan joining the Six Nations or Rugby Championship? Personally, I think the Rugby Championship is a much better fit. I agree. I think geographically, Fiji is certainly a lot closer to us. Japan, I don't know what the flight time was like between Europe and like New Zealand, Australia. Like, we're all in the Pacific. Is Japan kind of in the middle? If Japan wanted the money, the Six Nations is where that's at. But, yeah. Have you seen how Box supporters are cutting up their jerseys? I have not. Why are they cutting up their jerseys? Just send them to me, man. I'll wear them. Don't cut them up. That's a waste of a good jersey. Japan is basically in the Aussie time zone, though. That's true. Western Australia is pretty much the same time zone as China, from what I remember. 3 long-range utility backs who suck at defence. Boffelli, Combrink, and Hodge. That's a fair point. I think Boffelli is probably the best one under the high ball. Charlie says we're playing Otahu, gonna get smashed. Oh, damn. Try your best, man. Rebels have got another penalty. So it's back to within a point. What's up with the New Zealand teams wanting South Africa out of Super Rugby? Yeah, no, man. They seem to think they can just set up a comp and that everyone's going to be begging to get into it. But so far, no takers, seemingly. Is Hodge more of a natural 13 or 11? God, he's a natural, I don't know. I've seen him play 12, 13, 15, 11, 14. So, and 10. Hey Ruben, how are you, sir? I think if Georgia... Oh, that comment just disappeared. Georgia and Russia should join the Six Nations to make it more competitive. I would feel sorry for Georgia if Japan or Fiji got into the Six Nations. That'd be a kick in the guts for Georgia. Big time. Big time. Hodge is a natural 23. There you go. South Africa will be weak not having enough game time for the Rugby Championship. That is definitely going to be a bit of an issue. I don't know what the solution is. I don't even know that it's all gotten across the ground yet. Box supporters are cutting their jerseys because they disagree with the Black Lives Matter movement and feel politics shouldn't be involved in sports. Ironical considering our past. Yeah, Nelson Mandela with the 95 final, that seemed to be a decent mix of politics and sports, but bro, whatever it is, don't cut your damn jersey. That's just silly. You're only punishing yourself if you cut your jersey. Ruben, I'm good. I had my filling done today. I had my eyes tested today. I went to work for half a day. I cooked dinner. I'm watching rugby. I'm having a beer. You guys are here chatting. I can't complain. Honestly, all things being considered, pretty chuffed. Farmer silly, bro, that guy loves to run. Who did he bump off? Was it Hooper? Goodness me. I think the Rebels are going to take the lead here if that's a full pass. They're going to take this shot at goal, and it's going to be 9 points to 7. Japan and Georgia to get into the Six Nations and bring Fiji into the Rugby Championship. Everyone wants Japan because they bring the money and the squad. Fiji's got the squad. Georgia's got a lot of potential. I think the Waratahs are getting a yellow card warning here for offsides. Who do you think should be the replacement 10 for the All Blacks? Man. Play Bodie, put Richie on the bench? But Bodie hasn't been playing 10. We'll see how he goes on Sunday. 321 days since Bodie wore number 10. There you go. Goodness me, that's a long time. Romania plus Georgia to make 8 nations so people stop complaining about Italy. Italy could use a game where they could win every year, eh? But again, you also don't want to dilute the competition too much. You want competitive games because supposedly, from what our Northern Hemisphere brothers tell me about the Six Nations, the tickets are very, very hard to come by. But the ones you've got the best chance of picking up are the games against Italy. Second lead change of the game. My pick of the Waratahs is suddenly not looking all that great. Quite impressive, a warning after a dozen minutes. That'd be a pretty quick yellow card for like number of penalties conceded. Usually it's around like 35 minutes, right? Maybe 25. Replacement 10 is surely between Otsede Black and Mitch Hunt for the All Blacks. Burden Barrett might be a bench player. He might be if they go with Richie because Bodie can cover a lot of the back line. Whoa, knocked it on, man. The Tars are not looking good, are they? They're looking really off. Romania is nowhere good enough for the Six Nations. Russia improved hugely over the past season and be a good fit. Just let Georgia or Japan or Fiji, and no point in putting a tier 3 nation in because you just have the same problem with them. Imagine the likes of France playing Romania or Spain. Yeah, like I said, you don't want nothing games. You want every game to be as competitive as possible. That's what you like about the Six Nations. The Italy games are generally the one you don't necessarily have to catch that weekend. But France against Wales, England against Scotland, you bloody want to watch that because you know it's going to be a proper ding-dong battle. Not that I'm on the Italy bashing bandwagon. I mean, a lot of people say that the Italian under-20s team has got a lot of talent coming through. I don't think after you've had them there that many years, you just cut them. But I also don't think dropping a couple of more teams in if they're not going to be competitive would help anybody. You want competitive games. Even Argentina's kind of taken a wee while to come into the Rugby Championship, right? Most years they've gotten last place, but you feel like they're getting better. Alaran says he's got a feeling the Rebels are up for this one. Bro, they are looking the better team by a mile right now. The Waratahs' only bloody try was a lucky one. Backup 10, D-Mac. But he is a 15 and Bowden at 10. What about Richie, man? What about Richie? Super Rugby Aotearoa has been the best comp for fans in ages. Happy to see it stay this way till we get other quality sides to join the comp. But you notice even the Super Rugby Aotearoa attendance numbers have been kind of like net. And How long would you be willing to watch a 5-team competition? Like a year? After a couple of years, would you think it's getting a bit old? 5 teams is not a lot. I don't know. Waratahs have got a scrum penalty. Thank goodness for my Super Brew because they need to get their asses up the other end of the field. I hate to look at the stats, but I'm very tempted to at the moment. Japan has shown they're competitive for the last couple of years, and Georgia showed the massive potential but needs more competitive games. Georgia's at that awkward level where they're too good to be playing who they're currently playing, but they're not really good enough to be playing in the Six Nations. They get beaten by Italy most times, but I think they're at the level where the only way they're going to get better is by, like Argentina getting into the Rugby Championship, right? It is by more competitive games. Italy's best players are Scottish. Tommaso Allen was Scottish until he was 17, changed his name from Tommy to Tommaso, and he was Italian. They've got McKinley, I know, he's Irish. They've got Bramstein, he's South African. They certainly do have a few imports, but I guess so do the Scots. They got a few Englishmen in their squad. But the UK gets a bit blurry. I've done videos on nationalities before. It gets very blurry. Most years they haven't come last in exactly one tournament, albeit they were 5 meters away from condemning the ABs to 4th last year. Yeah. But I feel like they're getting more competitive as time goes by, but with half of their Hawaii's team already taking up contracts in Europe, who knows what's going to happen. Come on, Waratahs, you guys need to get in front. 5 points in front, to be exact. I haven't got any of the results exactly right this Super Brew season. Horton, moonlighting out on the wing. Did he get rid of the ball? He did. Didn't go into touch. The Tars are actually inside the Rebels 22. They have not spent long there in this game. I would say less than a minute. DMAC, Richie, and Bodie are all fit for the ABs. The 10 judges should be somewhat safe. TJ in a pinch. Yeah, I think the next cab off the rank seems to be Josh Iwane, but he needs to be fit. Oh, the Rebels have turned them over. Brutal. Oh, no, but the Tars have won a penalty. What's the current score? There. That one. 2 cents. What would you do if Aussie wins the Bledisloe Cup this year? Honestly, I think that would be good for the game. We've had it for so bloody long. I remember the days being like a young man when we hadn't had it for a few years. And my interest was absolutely peaked and determined to get that bloody thing back. But now we've had it so long, it's almost like a foregone conclusion every year. Richie is clear first choice for 10 for the ABs. Well, yeah, Bowden hasn't been playing 10. Oh, Teddy Black's not going to be 10. Caleb Trask's not going to be 10. Mitch Hunt's not going to be 10. Jackson Gardabash is not going to be 10. Richie Moonga is the only guy who's an All Black who's playing 10 regularly. So, yeah, agree. I mean, Cruden, nah. Don't think so. Right, the Waratahs have kicked the penalty down the other end, so the score has changed. They have gone in front, 10 points to 9. This game hasn't really come alive yet, but you would certainly say the Rebels have looked the better of the teams so far as well. I don't really rate Josh Iwane. Prefer Black or Hunt. Josh has been done a bit dirty because the Waratahs, the Highlanders kept playing him at 12. Bryn Gatland, number 10 ABs. He can't even crack the Highlanders squad since Josh Ioane has come back, so it seems unlikely. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. Need some game time. He did alright when he came on and beat his dad's team, but his dad's team haven't been doing all that well. Happy with the game, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit of tit for tat. It's not been real flashy so far. Is anyone else in isolation the next best to watching in a pub? Bro, I went to that Eden Park game. The ABs got the Bledisloe back. I barely spoke English back then. For real? Man, that's a while ago. That must have been madness, that one. That's a really special game to go to. I don't even know if I'd ever been to an All Blacks game when I was that age. Tars have gotten better since the original comp, 100%. I just feel like they've come out of the blocks a bit slowly in this game. Either that or the Rebels have gotten better since what we saw of them recently. Tamua is looking visibly better than I think we've seen much of him in this AU season. Ben Lamb not playing for the ABs. Yeah, he had that one season where he seemed like a sure thing but couldn't quite make it. Wonder what the AB's discussion would be if Sopoaga was still in New Zealand. I don't think he's been doing that well for Wasps, eh? Don't know. Watching your stream, your live stream outside. Hope you're not wasting your mobile data, bro. The best game I've ever been to is either Scotland v England 2018 when we got the Calcutta Cup back, or Scotland v ABs in 2017. That would have been a special one to go to as well. Problem with this ground is the crowd's so far away. Agree, Nov Mum, this is a cricket ground. It's like the one in Wellington. You sit miles from the game. Prime Geordie or Prime DMAC? Have both those guys already passed their prime? It's a bit sad. Geordie's 23. Yeah, he's in his early 20s. I think DMAC might be a year older. Sorry to brag, but the 3 ABs games I've been to in my life is when the ABs got the Bledisloe back 57-0 and last year's semi-final. Bro, you've been to some big games. Well done, man. I could say I went to see All Blacks France in 2011, which sounds pretty bloody impressive, but it was only the pool game, not the final. I'm not wasting my data. I don't have any data. I'm very close to house. Okay, good, man. I hope the weather's nice and it's not cold outside. "26 minutes gone. The Rebels are back inside the Tars 22. I feel like if they go in a point down or down at all, they'll be hitting themselves when they get to the changing rooms. Scotland AB's 2017. Not a Scotland fan, but that broke my heart for them that day. Interestingly, because I watched that game on a live stream recently, I didn't watch that game live. I can't remember why. I can't remember if I'd been out and I didn't want to stay up because it was on at a bad time from memory in New Zealand. But anyway, I believe Georgia and Russia should join the Six Nations and Fiji and Japan the Rugby Championship. That would kind of seem sensible if they're looking to expand the competitions. Zimbabwe. Hey, Mark. Go with the Rebels. Anyone but the Tars. The Rebels are looking the better team out. I don't know how they're behind. I do not know how they are behind. Johan van der Merwe is eligible for Scotland this year. Bro, he's good. He's bloody good. His brother Aka is a madman as well. It's not cold, it's warm outside. Good, nice. It's been a bit brisk here in New Zealand. If James Lowe stayed in New Zealand, do you reckon he would crack the ABs? He's pretty much set to play for Ireland. I think he's gotten better since he's played in Ireland, so it's hard to say. I mean, he's so good. He was very good for the Chiefs as well, but at that time I think Julian Savia was still kind of at his top level. And Rico Ioane was kind of emerging, so he just played here at a really bad time. Now, would he be in ahead of Severis? Rico Ioane can't even make the ABs anymore. I don't know, man. He's a bloody good player, though. I don't know how they're behind. Yeah, exactly right. Evening, Scooter. How's it going, sir? How do I put the score up? It's just a feature of this streaming thing that I use. South African teams joining the Pro 14. Yeah, keeps getting talked about. I worry for the Pro 14 if it gets too cumbersome, it could become like Super Rugby when it was Super 18. You wouldn't believe when I did videos about like attendance. I did attendance on, Super Rugby Pro 14 Premiership Top 14. And a lot of Pro 14 fans were like, bro, I don't give a toss about the Pro 14. I only watch my team play in the Champions Cup. And I was like, ugh. Okay, if you add a bunch more teams, is that going to make it more appealing, less appealing? I don't know. If the games are competitive, then more appealing. But if the Springbok player drain continues to France, don't know. I mean, the Sharks, Stormers were certainly looking pretty good this year before lockdown. The Lions weren't. The Bulls are having a bit of a restructure. That feeling when you type a long as if message, but the stream is so busy it flies by without Mark noticing. Bro, do you want me to scroll back up? Sorry, man. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I think I must have genuinely missed it. James Lotus had bad timing. Wish he was playing for the Chiefs. Yeah, for sure. I think the Tars are definitely going to go behind here. If you're not watching, the Rebels are on attack inside the 22. They've got advantage. I don't know how much of the game they spent. Oh, here comes the yellow card. And it's Mr. Hooper. Who's my team in the Champions Cup? I have a soft spot for Leinster because Mr. Mark Dunphy, who's been in the chat earlier, he sent me a Leinster jersey before I think I had any Northern Hemisphere teams jerseys. Leinster was the first ever team I had. So, yep. He's also sent me a ton of other teams as well. Countless jerseys, goodness me. But, yeah. And from the Premiership, I guess I've got a bit of a soft spot for Bath. There seems to be bloody Bath fans everywhere. Ain't the Super Rugby teams still legally bound to South African Super Rugby teams? Yeah, I don't know what it is from a legal standpoint, eh? I'm not sure if they're legally entitled to set up a new comp. Oh, I should have written up the new score because the Rebels kicked a penalty after that yellow card, by the way. It's 12 points to 10. We've had 4 lead changes in the half, man. It's a lot. Now that the Waratahs have got a yellow card, they actually seem fired up. Which is... Oh, they've knocked it on, though. Do you believe that rugby in Australia is dead? No. I don't think it's in a great state, but I don't think it's dead. Pretty sad we won't get any more slick Hawaras jerseys. Bro, those jerseys are so nice. Yep. Whenever I heard yellow card, I immediately thought Michael Hooper, and then ends up getting one. There you go. Do you wear your jerseys every day? Or other shirts too? When I go to work, I generally wear a collared shirt. Not because I have to, but because it probably looks a bit better than a rugby jersey in an office environment. I do sometimes wear my rugby jerseys on a Friday. Yes. Masanga, was he good in New Zealand? I don't remember that much about him, but I remember him being alright. Can't remember the last time I saw him play. Hey, Big Will. Oh, I don't know why this is only just showing up in your feed, bud. I set it up pretty late, man. I've been a bit slack with that. I only set it up at like maybe 40 minutes before kickoff, so maybe that's why. Morning, mate, says Tim. Just at work with my Irish mate. Can you tell him how crap London Irish are? Bro, London Irish. They signed heaps of players. They got money coming out there. Wazoo. They're not as good as Bath. Put it that way. The Rebels surely have to extend their lead here. God, why did I pick the Waratahs? I'm quite looking forward to seeing the halftime stats. I don't think it's going to be pretty reading for the Tars. Oh, was he okay to do that? The knock on. My Highlanders jersey arrived this week and it hasn't come off yet, says Leo. Nice. I admit, I did buy a new rugby jersey. I did. Tian's got to charge his phone. Yeah, man, don't let it go below like 30%. Apparently that stuffs up the battery. I'm I'm glad he loved that, Tim. Bath is my team, what can I say? But I got nothing against London Irish. They seem like a nice bunch. They always go up and down, up and down. Relegated, promoted. But let's hope they can stay up for a while. If Springboks had a C team, it would be Sale. Interesting you guys say that because the jersey I bought was actually a Sale jersey. I never had one, so I got one. Who would win between the Crusaders and Leinster? I mean, New Zealand bias, I'm going to say Crusaders. But Leinster's pretty much like an international team. Both are. It'd be pretty much like a test match, so who knows? Is he allowed to pull the ball back on the ground? I guess maybe they were saying the ball had already been knocked on? I don't know. That seemed a bit dodgy to me as well. Thoughts on World Rugby giving the green light for international rugby? Like they are relevant. Yeah, everyone seems to pretty much already been doing their thing. Like, we're just going to rearrange this. We're going to set up that. And World Rugby's just like, okay, yeah, cool. We'll put a test window in there. After it's kind of already been set up. Anyway. This game feels a bit slow. It has been a bit tit for tat. It's been one of those kind of penalty exchanging games. There's only been... Ooh, I was going to say one try, but there's another one. This is a game where I feel like the Rebels are just slowly squeezing the life out of the Waratahs. And they're finally getting their rewards for it here. It's a messy scrum. It goes all over the shop. Larrons gets the ball. And he is pretty powerful. Considering how much territory and position the Rebels have had, I'm surprised they haven't really scored. Exactly right. If not for that try, I think you would say the Waratahs were actually getting the better of this deal. Because they've been just so under the pump. And they were, you know, still really within touching distance. But the Rebels might go to a 9-point lead here. Maddox really hasn't shown up yet. Yeah, he's been good this season. But tonight, how many runs has he had? To Angus Gardner in the background. He is there. Not here. Waratahs haven't turned up. Super Brewers in trouble. I hope this pitch is on a slant or something, man, because, yeah, I need the Rebels to quiet down in the second half and the Waratahs to realise that there's a game on and that they're 9 points behind. Giddy up, go the Rebels, get that up your tars. What's wrong with the tars, man? Sydney. Private schools. North Sydney markets. And, I don't know, what else? Larrons is looking pretty good at halfback. Him and Tate McDermott are the two halfbacks of the comp. That's probably true. And Larrons actually has taken the old box kick now as well. All right, it's half time. Not a bad game so far. Not great. Yeah, this is an okay game. It's not been atrocious. You've had pretty much 30 points. A couple of good tries. Different. A lot of penalties. A few too many mistakes. But, yeah, it's been all right. English style rugby, not much open play. Yeah, this has not been an open play game. But that's alright. We can live with that. What happened to Sam Knock? He's back this week. I think I mentioned it a couple of times in the streams. I assume he was punished for a wee drinky on the bye week. Fleshing late on a session with the wife and her mate yesterday. First time out since lockdown. Wow. They must have enjoyed that. How's it going, bro? I've just finished a Budweiser. I bought a 12-pack of Budweiser. So I've got plenty of Budweiser. I dislike the Tars because I prefer the Rebels. I dislike the Brumbies because I'm a human being. What's wrong with the Brumbies? Maul tries, Falau Fainga, hat tricks and stuff. I'm from New South Wales but hate the Tars, mate. Adopted Brumby man here, bro. You're traitorous. I like the fact that you adopted your new home. Because a lot of people come to Auckland for jobs and then they can't stand the Blues. Like, man, if you're going to come here, at least make us your second team. If I move to Christchurch, the Crusaders are my second team because I live there. It's a connection. People refuse to support the Blues. Any streams tomorrow? Yeah, I reckon. Which game do you want to do? The first one or the second one? We can do, I think, Hurricanes Crusade. I think we have to do that one. No offense to the Western Force and the Brumbies. I think I want to watch the Hurricanes beat the Crusaders down in Christchurch for the first time since 2016. That'd be nice. Yeah, they are good teachers, so have stayed in all the time, but summer holidays now. True. No more school. Born and bred in Joburg, but I hate the Lions and I'm a lifelong Bulls fan. There seems to be a lot of South Africans who support the Bulls that don't have any connection to Pretoria. Kane's game says Sam. Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Tars have always been gutless, that's why I never liked them. Bro, they used to have that... Who was that South African guy that played for them? Oh, he's number 8 or number 6. What's his name? He wasn't gutless, he was brutal. Anyone who chooses to support the Crusaders or Saracens deserves to be hung, drawn, and quartered. Unless you live there, I reckon, yeah. I support the Blues except when they play the Chiefs. Yeah, fair enough. Crusaders, Canes. Yeah, I think that's going to be the game to watch. Support your migration team. Bro, if that place is good enough to live in, then that place is good enough to support their bloody team, man. Otherwise, don't live there. If you can't stand the team that much, just find a job somewhere else. It would be good to hear Gaza prefer a New Zealand game. Probably, yeah, Gaza prefers the times of the New Zealand games, to be fair. Jacques Potgieter, there you go. Jacques Potgieter, that's the man. Bro, he was fearless. Canes and Crusaders for sure. Canes 10 plus and Lamape to steamroll everyone. I hope so. Not because, again, I have anything particularly against the Crusaders apart from them being very good, but they need to lose a game. Leave the competition alive. Hopefully the Crusaders, says Liam, realise the tournament isn't only about them and let other teams have a chance. Exactly right. Exactly right. Anybody badmouths the Blues 2 cents look directly into the camera. You dare oppose me. Bro, just, yeah. I've seen it so much. Because Auckland is the biggest city. A lot of people move here. And they just still hate the Blues. And it grinds my gears. I don't know what to say. Thoughts about Aussie dropping $3 million on a 16-year-old league player? I thought they were broke. Yeah, I thought their broadcast deal was only worth $10 million. $3 million for a teenage league player seems like bad financial management, but I don't know. Couldn't see a Munster fan supporting Leinster if he lived in Dublin. I suppose that's true. But then don't move to Dublin. Stay in Cork. I guess Dublin's kind of like Auckland. Right, halftime stats. Funnily enough, possession 35-65. No prizes for guessing who's had more ball. Territory 34-66. Pretty much goes hand in hand. Run meters 87 for the Tars, 206 for the Rebels. Tackling percentage 89% Tars, 92% Rebels. Tars have made 68, Rebels have made 34. Penalties conceded 7-4. Not pretty reading. I'm in an awkward position as a Highlanders fan because I want the Canes to smash the Satyrs, but I don't want them to because we won't be able to get third. I couldn't ever support Edinburgh if I moved there. Really? I could literally support any other New Zealand team if I moved there. I could support any South African team if I moved to South Africa. Yep. I could support the Waratahs if I moved to Argentina. Some Wolves. I would support any place that I moved. Yep. What can I say? Got a big heart. Did you see the beautiful trophy of Super Rugby Aotearoa? Yeah, it's going to look good in the Crusaders cabinet. That's for sure. Something about big cities and blue teams that people don't like. That's probably true. Tamua boot for goal kicking is the only reason the Rebels are winning. And the territory possession, better tackling stats, more run meters. Yeah. Mark is a Bulls man, even if he goes to Cape Town, bro. I don't know about that, man. If I move to Pretoria, I think I'm going to be going to Loftus. Jeez. Just to highlight the difference here, like fullbacks, Rebels, Dane Hallett-Petty, 6 runs, 58 metres, 1 defender beaten. So that's like good, decent run meters. That's not too shabby. Jack Maddox for the Tars. He's had 1 run for 3 meters. No ball. Daramundi says, I technically have the Rebels as my second teams as I live in Victoria, but I'm a happy Reds fan. There you go. No, man, it's not Edinburgh Rugby I hate. It's their fans. If you are ever in Scotland, come to an 1882 Cup game at Scotstoun and you will see what I'm on about. Yeah, I think sometimes maybe that cultural stuff, you need to be there to really understand it. That's true. Sorry, Mark. I think the Blues hate relates to the Jaffa culture. I think maybe some of that Jaffa stuff comes from people who don't live in Auckland. But that being said, I do know quite a few Jaffas. My brother, he doesn't watch my stream, so I can say this. He's kind of a wannabe Jaffa. If you don't know what a Jaffa is, it's the term for people outside of Auckland who refer to Aucklanders as just another effing Aucklander. And they think we're all up here drinking lattes and, like, I don't know, sitting by the waterfront, not doing any work and, I don't know, just being poncy twits, basically. Probably having a smashed avocado with a latte and buying, you know, $1.5 million houses. Yeah, not me, though. I'm drinking a bloody Budweiser with my laptop on a table, which is on top of another table. And you guys are on a webcam, which is on a little another table on another table. And there's no latte in sight. Anyway. I don't know why, but for me, every fullback has to run at least 50 meters, otherwise their entire game was a failure. Yeah, well, you basically get free meters, right? As soon as the ball gets kicked to you, you run forwards, you get 3 meters. Yeah, basically. So basically, Capetonians, yeah, I guess. Name the big city, say what they do. 2 cents is a man of the people. I mean, I don't know, man. Like my dad, you guys have seen him on the thing, Gaza. He's a working class dude, man. We grew up with pretty basic, like kind of values and stuff. And my brother, he likes the kind of la di da fancy stuff. And I mean, I'm sure I can appreciate like a good meal and stuff as well. But yeah, the Ponzi stuff doesn't sit well with me. But you know, I don't know. Um, Maybe if I had more money, it would. Don't know. Jonathan J said, "Yes, bro, I am good. I'm looking for my second beer to open. It's half time. Players are about to come back out. We've been talking about all kinds of crap. Fancy Aucklanders, drinking lattes, supporting teams other than your own team. Why New Zealand rugby wants to snub everybody and do their own thing. All kinds of stuff. Blue collar lifestyles that makes the country great. Hands down. All the great stuff. Yeah, that being said, like I have the ultimate white collar job. I'm in a bloody university office. So I can't really talk, eh? Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody imagine Gaza to look exactly like DC's dad? There's one video my dad's been in on the channel. It's like dad picks his, or Gaza picks his, or Two Cents dad picks All Blacks team. Yeah. If you want to see my dad, watch that video. Kickoff is underway. Rebels immediately concede a penalty. This half is going to be the Tars half, people. Gaza looks like a bald, older version of Mark. I don't know that I look that much like Gaza, do I? We both got glasses and we both got the schnoz, but I don't know. I just felt like I looked like a bit more like my mum. Don't know. I'll admit, I love New Zealand most laid back folks ever. I guess that's a double-edged sword as well. Like I remember when I moved to China and like I went to work and I was dressed pretty casually and I was like, man, a lot of the staff really, really care about what they look like when they go to work. I feel like New Zealand, we don't care as much. I don't know. Probably depends where you work. I remember that mainly because he picked Julian Savia at 11. Yeah, he snubbed Jonah. Spoiler alert, by the way. He goes into reasoning why he did it, though, but yeah. We bought a dining room suite second hand over 20 years ago from Trade and Exchange. Whoa, Trade and Exchange. I remember that paper. Haven't upgraded it, but it does the job. Yeah, my daughter's cot is like second hand. Half of my rugby jerseys are bloody bought off some kind of second hand something or other. So, yep, it does the job. How's my Mandarin? It's okay, eh? It's not bad. I can get by. I can talk. I can text. I can't really talk about politics or science or anything like that. Oh, knock on. Just as the Tars were getting some momentum. But yeah, I can order food and introduce myself and, you know. Like basically the kind of conversation you would have with a taxi driver, I can get by. Who's Deegan on for? Am I missing something? And with kids, it gets kind of messy, yeah, bro. I won't show you guys the room I'm sitting in, but it is pretty messy. The old trade and exchange. My girlfriend wanted a vacuum cleaner off there a few years ago, and I came back with a trampoline. How are you going to clean the floor with a trampoline, man? You're going to make a bigger mess. So. Carmichael Hunt, big tackle on Bill Meeks. Hooper gets the ball. Got to release that one, Bill. What do I do at the uni? It's like, because the uni's got lots of staff, we have an internal call center for staff to call up with problems. I didn't get paid. My roof's leaking. Computer's broken. Printer's not working. Or need to buy plane tickets. That's what it used to be. All that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I work in that office. I don't have to answer the phone, thankfully. Yeah. I look after the IT guys. Speaking to academics on the phone. Not good. Very needy. Demanding people. Sorry if any of you guys are academics. I know your institution probably drives you to bring in lots of research money, but be nice to the guys in the call center. Jesus, those guys are on a lot less money. Excuse my... anyway. I used to learn Mandarin in primary school and until year 7. I can't remember a single word, but a school friend went to Shanghai for a year to study and is fairly fluent in it. Plus, she's not Chinese or East Asian descent, which makes me fairly jealous. Yeah, I studied Chinese, bro, before I went. I studied for 3 years, and I feel like my Chinese was pretty ordinary. I got to China, I could barely get by, but I had the foundation stuff, and then when I was in China, it just went... because you're just hearing it every day. You can't avoid it. So, you're the guy people go to complain about things. Yeah, my guys are the first line of defense, and if crap hits the fan, then it's like me that has to kind of deal with it. So, yeah. I don't like that job that much. The people are nice. Right, so how's it got a penalty? Remember, they're back at 15 all, 15 on 15, sorry. Oh, Dane Haley-Petty's the guy that went off. Thank you for whoever said that. You must be at the wrong end of all kinds of crap. Yeah, that's kind of like yesterday. Outlook went down, printers went down, and our forms page went down. So it was just like, ugh. Don't need this crap on a Thursday. Anyway. Pays the bills, what can I say? Can't complain. A lot of people lost their jobs over COVID, so I'm happy to be happily employed. Geez, another penalty. Penalty count in this game is getting really high. Trent, how is it going? I'm moaning about my job like a big sook, but other than that, everything's all good. I remember a colleague of yours was on the stream once. Was his name Prashanth or something? Yes. Prashanth was the first person in my office to realize I have a YouTube channel. That was during the World Cup. Or just before the World Cup, I think. He's kind of a casual rugby fan and he really watches World Cup kind of All Blacks content. Simmons is going off after 46 minutes, which seems pretty early. Rebels 23 looks like Tyrone Green with more hair and less tattoos. Isn't Tyrone Green going overseas? That's a real pity because he's a real live wire fullback, man. You're in hospital so you can swap. Yeah, bro, that's what I mean. Like, I'm complaining about stuff, but it's like, yeah, nah. Shouldn't be moaning. It's just human nature to have a whinge, I guess. God, another penalty. What is the count? My birthday? It's in October, man. It's in October. Green is going to Quinn's. 2 Cents is the link man of the university, if you will. Yeah, kind of. People call me to get stuff fast-tracked. If I can do it, I will. If I don't, I'll probably know who the person to talk to about it. So, yep. I go to lots of meetings, but my boss is, like, she's next level. She's really smart. She sees how all the things work together. I don't have that kind of big picture brain like her. Judging the beer of choice today, I know. Budweiser is a very judgeable one. At least it's imported. Unlike a lot of the other stuff, which is locally brewed. What can I say? Penalty count is 8-6. Is that it? Do I play any sports? Not really anymore. I do take a lot of walks with the missus. I know walking's not exactly that flash. And I do go swimming with the kids fairly regularly, although not since COVID. Alaran. Here's something to stop the pain of dealing with academics. I was nearly one myself. Saw the light. Thank goodness, man. Thank you for that, sir. You're too kind. To put that into context, a typical conversation with an academic is, I want this. Give me access to this. Okay, academic, sir. That requires you to fill out this form because it needs to be on the record because it's like, I don't know, confidential stuff. I don't have time to fill out the form. Just do it. That's like a first up conversation. Filling out forms and menial administration is below the academic. But, to be fair, if I'm looking at the other side, the university does have a ton of forms to fill out. They love a good form. Everything needs a form. Is that Bud going down well? Bro, it's actually like someone compared it to water earlier. I think it was the big V8 show, but it is easy to drink, honestly. It's a drink that makes me want to drink more. Maybe that's why it sells more. When I drink it, I want to drink more Budweiser. Like I have a thirst. Hey bro, big fan of the channel. What would be more disheartening? All Black losing next World Cup or Blues having another decade of mediocrity? I'm going to be totally selfish here and say I've had enough All Black success in the recent years to give them a rest. And the Blues need to be good. Yeah. I know that's selfish as, but the All Blacks have been very good to us All Blacks fans, man. To the point where people would call up Talkback Radio and complain no matter what the result. Oh, we won by too much. It's getting so boring. Oh, we only won by 5 points. Why didn't we smash them? Bro, it got maddening. Oops. For people who can't smell academics. Thank you, sir. Oh, man. Hodge with the offload from the ground to Wells. Still no score in the second half. Waratahs are holding on. Love the stay home, get tested ads they have from the Victorian government around the stadium. That's actually pretty smart. I didn't even notice. Tamua's having a good game, I reckon. Ainsley to Hodge, who one-hand chicken wings it from the deck. Tamua's kick just not quite on the money. I work on structural steel support or software support, and I can sympathize you with most customers. Most are okay. Some are very abrupt, to say the least. Yeah, I can imagine. And to be honest, I don't have to answer the phones, so I shouldn't be complaining. My guys in my team, those are the ones who really should, they cop the flack. I just have to clean up. I feel like the Waratahs are better in the second half, though. I feel like they're more likely to score. If they can stop knocking the bloody ball on, come on, guys. Samoa's definitely having a good game at 10. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. Felician's been drinking a Turkish beer. I know. Ran with a good run, but then he just ends up getting... Oh, was that you, Elise, that got the turnover? That was lethal pilfering, man. Back to the game, just can't see the Waratahs doing much. I feel like they've lifted in the second half, but too many mistakes. Vamos Waratahs Caralho. Yeah, those are a few Spanish words that I learned on this channel. And also someone asked me if I can speak Afrikaans. I think I've only learned 2 Afrikaans words on this channel. One of them is lekker. I know what that means now. And the other one is a swear word, which means not good. I think it starts and ends with a K, right? How old is Hooper? Seems to be around forever. 28, man. I guess he was captain pretty young on. Oh my giddy aunt. The Waratahs, as the commentators have just said, were in a world of trouble there. And Hosea has just shelled what seemed like a very, very simple pass. How many was it? Was it a 2 on or 3 on 2? Ulysses. Got any long dongs for the Canes game? I still can't get any long dongs, man. I made the mistake of putting long dong into a like it was like some shopping site, kind of like I guess eBay, but for I think it was Taiwan or Hong Kong, and they sell stuff in the long dong category, which ain't beer. So that was my mistake for thinking a bit naively. The time is 55 minutes and 15 seconds. Ulysses is just going off. He looks to be injured. Just hope the kiddos weren't around. Nah, when I'm using the computer, the kids definitely are not around. Anytime you search for long dong in any search engine, you get a whole lot of dongs. You do need to put at least the word beer in that search, preferably like Taiwan beer long dong. Or I think, what was the brewery? The brewery was like Red Point, which probably doesn't help. But yeah. goodness me, that's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? When you're feeling down, just remember there's a beer in Taiwan called Long Dong. Your day gets a bit better. Jeez, Maddox with that pass. Maddox is having a stinker. A lot of scrums in this game, eh? A lot of scrums. Red point, long dog. Oh my word. I know. It's like a perfect combination of the brewery and the name of the beer. Super Rugby AU these last 3 weeks doesn't compare to Aotearoa. If you were I, would you recommend I watch the game or watch my beautiful mug right now? That's an easy decision. It's always the game. Without doubt. Without doubt. I know Taiwan beers and most of them suck. There's a good one called Long Dong. Yeah, apparently the most well-known beer in Taiwan is... I mean, I think long is for dragon, which would mean like long rather than long. But yeah, spelling is still the same if you put it in Roman letters. English letters. Just the handling in this game has been a bit poor, I think. I don't know what's the highest number of phases that the teams have been getting up to, but they're very rarely getting through any huge number of phases. They keep knocking it on or getting turned over. So then it's Dragon Dong. I don't know what the dong stands for, though. I forget what the character was. I thought it might have been East, like Eastern Dragon, but I don't think it's East. It's a different character. How's the second half been? The second half's not been as good as the first. Still no scoring. We're 20 minutes into it. There's been a lot of knock-ons. Turnover's good. Like, I appreciate a good pilfer at the breakdown, but you'd like these guys to protect the ball and get through some phases, to be honest. When was the last time I had a braai? Quite a while. I guess because it's winter. They're usually a summer thing over here. .59 minutes, 40 seconds. Speaking of phases, though, the Rebels have just gone through 14, which is quite impressive. So they probably deserve a try here. Short. 15 phases, 16 phases. Short again. 17 phases. The forwards are just picking and going. Short. 18 phases. Here we go, the backs. Not the best pass from Deegan, but Korobeti's done pretty well. And the offload. But the defense is still covering. And forward pass. Waratahs not out of the woods yet. They've still got to exit. Looking forward to the Crusaders game tomorrow, but also can't wait to see Bowden Barrett play 10. I think a lot of people are looking forward to seeing Bowden play 10. Controversial opinion, the primary reason why people think Aotearoa is better is because of the greater open field play in the New Zealand game. I honestly think from that video I did, the main stat difference that people don't like between the two games is the scrums. I would actually like to look at all the games that have been played, but there's just so many. And I've got to get the stats manually. It's kind of a pain in the ass. If I got time, I will. Maybe I can take a sickie from work and just look at ESPN sports page for a day. Are they showing the game in the States on ESPN Plus, which I believe is relatively cheap at $4.99, given I have an account? Google dong, meaning in Chinese, and it says to manage or supervise. So you and your job. It could be one of many different dongs. Dong can mean east. Dong can mean to understand. Just depends on what tone it is, what character it is. But yeah. I've seen the characters on the bottle of beer, and I know one of them means dragon. I don't remember if I could read the other one. Michael Hooper's got a head like a half-eaten quiche? The only thing my wife has said about Michael Hooper is she thinks his eyes are too close together. So I'll leave it to her. He's a bloody good rugby player, so I can't really, like, skite about anything over that guy. He could put me on my backside pretty easily. He could probably break my arm if I arm wrestled him. He could outrun me if there was a dinosaur chasing us. I'd be the one to get eaten. So, there you go. He's probably got a ton more money than me as well. So, yeah, he's got lots of things going for him. Apart from that intercept try, the Tars haven't really looked threatening at all. I am inclined to agree with that statement. Tars have been very dull. But the fact that they're only down by 9 is kind of impressive. I think 50-22 is a crap rule. At least make the kick difficult like 22-22. All that does is reward teams kicking all the bloody time. I think what their plan is that teams will defend the 50-22 by having the wingers stand back a bit more, which means instead of having like maybe, I don't know, 13 guys or whatever in the line, you might only have 12. Depending on how they form up, if they have the halfback back or if they have the wingers back or just the fullback like Ireland do. You know, I think that's their plan. I don't know. 你会说中文? Yes. Yes, I can. I can. 会不会? Yes, I 会. I can. 会. Thank you for using simplified characters. They are easier to read. By the way, that means, can you speak Chinese? My answer was yes. Yellow coming, ask Eleron. They are under the pump once again. Why did I pick the Waratahs, people? Goodness me. You got to think the Rebels are either going to score or there's going to be a yellow. One or the other. Been told to use it though. That's the first get out of jail for the Tars. Did Tamua score or is he just short? Tamua got one heck of a line break. $50-22 benefit with Bodenberry tactical kicking. Bodenberry, yeah, if only we had it in New Zealand. Oh, Tamua's just short. Will I teach my kids Mandarin? Bro, I'm trying. But my son ain't having a bar of it. When he was 2, he could speak a lot. And then he's just... The environment here is all English, so he just mostly speaks English. How am I, Stefan? I'm pretty good. How would I rate this game? It's been okay. It's had a few too many handling errors for my liking. A fair bit of scrummaging. But it's still relatively close. Somehow the Tars are hanging on by a thread. I think they're one more, like, if they concede one more try, I think there's no way they could come back. They could maybe come back from 9 points down. I can't see them come back much more. Will you get Rugby Challenge 4? Probably. I haven't played any Rugby Challenge games since the first one, and I didn't really play that for very long because it didn't have much depth to it, I thought. But we'll see. I haven't played Rugby 20 that long either. It's got a little bit of depth, but the gameplay is a bit average. The AI is terrible. "66 minutes gone. Rebels are really powering. Oh, penalty. I think this is going to be a card. Or was it Hooper again and he gets him, like, doesn't want to give him a red? Rugby 20 is atrocious. 我觉得台湾有很多橄榄球人。好的。Is that Google Translate Chinese? Saw that Rugby Challenge 4 got screenshots today for the Nintendo Switch. They would be good players. Has to be yellow, Big Will. Maybe because it was Hooper, they thought, oh, I can't give him a second yellow because that'd be red. They've conceded so many penalties. I don't see how it's not. But anyway. Nanopox says I just got back home now. It's house wine. There you go. Rebels miss a penalty. They're leaving the Waratahs within touching distance, man. Honestly, this is getting a bit... Aussie Tyrone Green lining up the shot, and he missed it. I'm not going to be able to unsee that now when I see Deegan playing. Andrew did make a video about the screenshots earlier today. Okay. Ruben says Rugby 08 is undoubtedly the best rugby game. Even that one got a bit too easy because the AI had a lot of exploits. But I must admit, I did prefer it largely. I played it for hours and hours and hours. Me and my Aussie mate even created our own modern All Black and Wallabies teams. We talked and agreed on stats, like what was acceptable for the current lineups, and yeah, so we spent a lot of time on that game. Entire Bangla. Yeah, I can read Chinese, bro. Not all of it. I can't read a newspaper very well. Have the Tars been over the half in the past 15 minutes? Alaran, I would doubt it. This has been painful. And here we go. Holloway, yellow card. My pick for the Waratahs. He's not probably going to come back on, given it 69 minutes and 44 seconds. Looking pretty bad. Time for the Rebels to finish this. It's 100%, man. Like, as much as they will be pleased at how they have dominated this game, the scoreboard does not reflect their dominance, and that's probably largely their own fault, man. You look knackered, big week at work. I think it's because they put eye drops when I did the eye test this morning. They put eye drops in to like numb my eyes. Like those were nasty. They were quite sore. I mean, mildly sore, but yeah, my eyes haven't quite felt the same for the rest of the day. I guess it needs to be slept off. There we go. Yeah, that's the first points of the second half. Oops. No. Click save before you do that. There we go. Current Sharks, 2019 Bulls, 2017 Lions, and 2010 teams. Stormers would whip these teams. Yeah, the Tars have been poor. This is the worst game they've had in AU so far, and the Rebels, like, they've been okay, but for all their stats, they should be up by more. Dominating without scoring, the Rebels caught the Canes bug. I always thought the Northern Hemisphere stadiums had awesome crowd numbers until I realized the stadiums are quite small. Yeah, I did a video on that, actually. And yeah, a lot of the grounds in especially the UK seem to be pretty much perfectly fit for size. Like the crowd numbers are the same, but boy, does a full ground look so much better than a half-empty one. Why aren't the Lions on the Lions tour? I don't know. They've dropped 2 games from the tour, so I guess the Lions are a victim of that. Do the Tars not have a proper home stadium? Nah, since they knocked down their old one, I think they're still building. So, nope, they don't. They are still having to move around. What do you guys reckon? Is the fat lady already singing in this one, or is there still potential with 7 minutes and a man down? I think it's this is done, isn't it? Canes are always jarring to watch with the empty seats. The yellow does not help. Lions would be interesting to commentate on. I agree. Well, 2009 tour, they did play the Golden Lions, so... Last week's Reds game was allowed to have 10 fans, but I don't think they even got 5. That's disappointing. Hopefully the beer was good. Supposedly the promotion of this comp's not been that good over there, though, eh? I think they had 50,000 viewers on TV for some of the games, but it's still below what they get for the league. Oh, man. Tars just can't get out of their half. The fat lady's not singing, she's in your shower. I don't know what that means. I'm reading too much into that. Tars have been poor this season, but geez, living in Perth, I really hate the Rebels and never want them to win a game. I mean, I don't mind the Rebels, but I honestly think for the good of Australian rugby, surely Western Australia was probably a better choice, right? Like, even the Storm, who are such a successful team, don't get sellouts every week, right? Because the AFL is just so strong in Victoria. Like, Western Australia doesn't have a league team, so at least that's part of the competition already out the way. Maddox is junked tonight, says Elron, and I couldn't really agree more. He's had a stinker. How did you feel when New Zealand lost to France in 2007? Only for New Zealand to win it in 2011, and then 24 years of hurt. Did you cry? No. My initial reaction to the New Zealanders winning the cup in 2011 was relief, more than anything else. I wasn't crying. I wasn't smiling. I was just relieved. Because honestly, if they couldn't win it in 2011 at home against a team that had beaten pretty comfortably in the pool stages and had lost to Tonga, then they were never going to win another World Cup, man. Agree. As a West Aussie, I hate this crap Rebels team. Yeah. I think, I don't have the historical attendance numbers, but I would assume the Force had better attendances generally. Victoria is basically the AFL state. Maddox is getting subbed. He won't be happy with his shift. A lot of Kiwis here in Perth that watch rugby. Yeah, and South Africans too, right? From what I can tell, most of the Storm's fan base are transplants from New South Wales and Queensland. That would make sense. The 2011 game was so difficult to watch, especially the last 10 minutes. I think the whole New Zealand was on the edge of the seats. I remember when Trandurk had that shot at a penalty, I couldn't even watch it, like, for the French to go in front. Because I was in a bar. I went to the bathroom. I couldn't watch it. When I came out, he had missed it. And I was just, yeah, tension was just killing me. Maddox was mud. Yes. 2011 win was a relief. I enjoyed 2015 win because there was less pressure. 100%. Oh, Karabidi has just scored a fine try to cap off this match. It's had its moments. Ball comes out. Karabidi picks it at the back of the ruck and just runs. Who does he beat? Newsom. My Super Bruce score is going to take a major hit. You and me both. No charge down. These Tars are rubbish tonight. They are pretty bad. Ignoring if you answer this, but how do you feel about the proposed Super Rugby tourney next year? What Aussie teams would you keep? Yeah, it's still kind of watch this space, eh, man? It seems like after New Zealand put those cards on the table, they may have alienated a few people by not really talking to them about it first. So, yeah. Back to the drawing board for the Tars. I had the Tars by 5, says Big Will. You and me had the Tars by the same score, man. So, yeah. Bad pick. Just read that 5 people tried escaping from a hotel isolation facility in Hamilton. Really? Is that new news? We definitely had several different people try to escape from quarantine. Score still flatters them. They should be 30 points down. Can you imagine if they didn't get that intercept try? Yeah. The Hooters should be about to go because we've just hit 80 minutes. They got one chance to get a bit of a consolation try, but that's it. Can they get one? Before I even finish saying it, no, they've conceded a penalty. No, the answer was no. They couldn't. Tars can do nothing right. Goodness me. Just got published a few minutes ago. Goodness, I'll have a look at that in a bit. People who try to escape from quarantine, I don't know, man. How selfish can you get? One of the few places in the world which has not really got a lot of cases of a global pandemic, and you want to try and escape to do what? Do your 14 days, go home, watch some rugby, have a beer. Right. Well, yeah. That's the game. 29 points to 10. As Alaran said, the Tars are probably lucky it's only 19 points because they were absolutely dominated in that one. Lachlan says they are hopeless. That is one of their more hopeless performances. And I thought they were kind of improving in the first few games, but apparently I was wrong. So, yeah. We will see how the games go tomorrow. Live stream tomorrow. I think, yeah, let's do the Crusaders Hurricanes one. That should be a good watch. Gaza should be here. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. I think I'll be going to club rugby in the afternoon to have a look at some club rugby because I haven't done that for a super long time. So, yeah, should be a bit of fun. Anyway, yeah, I'll quickly knock out this review. I don't think it'll be a heck of a long one. I didn't take that many notes. So, yeah, knock this out, go to bed, and I will catch you guys tomorrow evening my time. But anyway, take care, people, and I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. See you later.